Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a giddy couple in love that loves reacting to some Genshin Impact.
We're giddy for Genshin.
And so today we're continuing with Genshin Impact with our character Miscellany. We're checking it out for the first time. And so we're just going to do like 3 at a time because it's Triple Trailer Tuesday, people. And so, yeah, so we're going to learn a little bit more about these characters. We've done character drafts before. If you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, check out the description of this video. We got playlists there for you.
Genshin Impact has been so much of this channel so far, but it now has its own drink.
Yeah.
This is Klee's Sparkling Bomb, and it's awesome. Pop rocks.
Pop rocks on the rim. Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.
You can hear the pop rocks in your
mysterious bard named Venti has recently appeared in the world, singing tales for the city of freedom and romance.
Almost feels like Lord of the Rings music.
Yeah.
The crown of the north, a free nation with no ruler. This once
beautiful.
bitter cold land in the north of Teyvat is now fertile. A blessing left by the god of Anemo, they say. 1,000 years have passed since the god of Anemo left this land. But to me, it has only been half that time.
Come on, traveler, let's go. The world is full of lost ballads just waiting to be rediscovered.
Okay.
As
do
an
it, Bard.
archer with the power of Anemo, Venti can battle with ease in almost any environment. His versatile attack style and his ability to launch enemies with his elemental skill allow for a high amount of mobility in battle. His unique elemental burst can pull together nearby enemies, making him a strategic character who can both deal damage and control the battlefield.
Wow. All right.
When Venti is in your party, gliding consumes less stamina for all characters. Needless to say, this skill will come in handy in your adventures.
Oh, no. They can't swim.
Take Venti along when exploring the beautiful open world. Normal attacks can perform up to 6 consecutive shots. The first and fourth shots can fire an extra arrow,
Quicker than Legolas.
while the 6th shot deals greater damage. Hold the attack button to use a more powerful aimed shot. When fully charged, an Anemo-infused arrow is fired and deals even more damage to the enemy. Call upon the wind on which hymns and songs fly to lift your enemies up into the sky. When you use the elemental skill Skyward Sonnet, Venti summons a wind domain at the enemy's location, dealing area of effect Anemo damage. Enemies are launched into the air and fall slowly to the ground. Hold Skyward Sonnet to summon an even larger wind domain around Venti, dealing greater area of effect damage and launching enemies into the air. Venti also uses this powerful wind to fly high into the air. Adept use of this skill not only allows you to attack
dodge
enemies,
attacks,
but also dodge attacks and move around the environment.
Cool.
If the opportunity presents itself, you can also use a plunging attack from above. Wind domains can even be utilized to help you get around.
Nice.
After unlocking the talent Embrace of Winds, holding Skyward Sonnet will also create a temporary upcurrent as you fly into the air. By firing an arrow infused with coalesced winds, Venti creates a fierce storm that sucks in surrounding enemies and deals Anemo damage. Contact with hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro elements causes the storm to absorb that element and deal additional elemental damage. The storm can only absorb one element each time. After unlocking the talent Storm Eye, Venti's energy will be replenished at the end of Wind's Grand Ode. If an element was absorbed, the energy of party members of that element will also be replenished. Even though Venti is more than capable of handling different obstacles in battle, strategic party selection and teamwork can help you maximize Venti's abilities. First, use Divine Archery to attack enemies from afar. And
you just like morph in other players?
Use Skyward Sonnet to launch dangerous enemies into the air.
Ooh, became a witch.
Energy to prepare for the final attack.
I guess you can just change through all characters. And some control like all 3 at once. You have to change back and forth between characters.
Wind's Grand Ode sucks the enemies in and deals Anemo damage. Use another element on enemies.
What does
in
animal
the
damage
to
do?
generate a swirl reaction. Then use another compatible element to cause an elemental reaction.
It's got a little bunny.
Causing
He's
another
dancing.
elemental reaction brings the battle to a swift end.
Bunny did most
As
of the
we all
work.
know, poetry and language flow like the wind. Venti captures this spirit in his ballads. Flora and fauna he sings of seem to have a life of their own and transport us to the moon and the stars. This self-proclaimed best bard of the mortal world gets his strength, his unwithering inspiration from the wind.
Bless you.
Thank you.
But what Venti seeks in life is not eternal fame for his ballads.
But eternal peace.
Rather, he'd be happy with a cup of wine and a lyre to sing the marvelous stories of the world.
Aw.
Yes, that would make Venti the Bard very content indeed.
He's a true musician. He just cares about the music. It's up with the fame and the glory.
As the Dawn Winery's owner, Diluc dominates Mondstadt's alcohol
nice home.
industry.
Yeah.
Wealth and information are at his fingertips.
I don't know whose team he's on, but I want the guy with the
Modest and
winery.
refined, yet quick to act whenever Mondstadt faces a crisis. What caused him to choose this path? How very curious.
There must be those who dare to pierce the darkness with their light.
As one who wields pyro and a claymore, Diluc has perfected the art of violence
I want his helmet.
I know.
and dominates the battlefield.
The sword would be pretty badass too.
Yeah, that's not
With
bad.
his powerful skills, Diluc causes massive damage with ease and crushes all his foes with fearsome, ruthless strikes. Born a noble, Diluc is well versed in all things swords. With his guidance, no metal ore is wasted in their making. When forging claymores, Diluc recovers a set percentage of the ores used, aiding greatly in your adventure. Diluc's normal attack performs up to 4 consecutive strikes, with the 4th strike launching enemies.
Being heavy.
Holding the attack button constantly consumes Diluc's stamina to launch swift consecutive attacks, dealing increased physical damage to nearby enemies, and unleashing an extra powerful attack at the end that launches enemies. Use this wisely to scatter enemy groups and defeat shielded foes. Unlocking the talent Relentless decreases Diluc's charged attack stamina consumption and
He can knock 'em all
increases
back
its
and then
maximum duration.
Venti can, like, bring 'em all
Use
back
fierce
in.
attacks to defeat those before you. Using the elemental skill Searing Onslaught, Diluc strikes with his claymore, dealing pyro damage. This can be done 3 times in a row, with a short window of time to connect each strike. But pay attention. This skill enters cooldown if the next strike is not activated in a short period of time. Using Searing Onslaught in concert with normal attacks allows you to deal constant damage to enemies, while remaining evasive and mobile. Additionally, since this skill deals pyro damage,
Feels so bad beating up those little jellies.
form combinations with other characters, using elemental reactions to deal greater damage.
Your verdict is?
Ooh, he's like a phoenix.
Surrounding himself
Nice.
in flames, Diluc knocks nearby enemies back, before gathering the flames into his blade and launching a phoenix, dealing massive pyro damage to enemies in its path.
Ultimate.
Diluc's normal and charged attacks will also deal pyro damage for a period of time. Dawn has a very
sets the
large
world
hitbox, allowing it to not only strike airborne foes, but also forcibly reposition enemies to an extent, making it very strong against groups. The pyro damage conversion that Dawn provides further strengthens Diluc's attacks. Unlocking the Blessing of Phoenix talent increases the duration of Dawn's pyro damage conversion, and gives Diluc a pyro damage bonus. Diluc is, without question, a well-honed warrior, who efficiently deals with any task. Now, please witness him in action. He begins suppressing the target with normal attacks, combining it with his elemental skill to deal great pyro damage to the enemy.
See, I don't feel bad about him beating up the robot. Because
Yeah.
the robot's attacking him. But like the robot was just standing there and Venti attacked the robot.
Building up elemental
And he was a bit
energy.
aggressive.
uses his elemental burst once his energy is full, followed by attacks enhanced by Blessing of Phoenix, defeating the enemy flawlessly.
Flawless
Diluc's
victory.
explosive, ruthless fighting style and his aloof manner are all admirable traits. But if the disaster from 5 centuries ago were to happen again, if he were to face the same evil that I once did, would he still hold fast to his resolve?
Who's the narrator?
That's what I was just wondering.
This, too, makes me most curious indeed.
Well, now we're curious.
yeah.
Who are you?
There are many remarkable people in Mondstadt's Knights of Favonius.
And they all have
Among
butts.
them is a small knight who raised Stormbearer Mountains
But
flat,
is important.
Yeah.
and whose name
There
has
she is.
recently become commonplace both within Mondstadt and beyond. When
Little
it comes to Spark Knight Klee, there are rumors aplenty. Interestingly, those telling these rumors do so with a smirk and a shake of their heads, joking that even Mondstadt's fish have learned to swim away when they see her.
Can I come play with you today? Please?
Hey,
I
cheers,
wanna go on
Klee.
an adventure.
Cheers!
Well known as the Spark Knight, Klee is able to deal continuous pyro damage with her childlike glee and a pack and pockets full of bombs. But watch out, as anything near her may be turned to ash in a fiery explosion. Klee loves adventures and is adept
love the
at
way she runs.
expeditions and gathering.
Gets me
Not
every
only
time.
does she know the locations of Mondstadt's unique flora, she may also know where to find a treasure or two. When Klee is on your team, the location of items unique to Mondstadt will appear on your minimap.
That's helpful.
When it comes to anything explosive, Klee simply can't control her enthusiasm. Klee's normal attack performs up to 3 consecutive explosive attacks that deal AoE pyro damage. Holding the attack button consumes a certain amount of stamina, and after a short casting time blasts enemies, dealing AoE pyro damage. When Klee is up high, her charged attack can reach enemies even farther away. Also, Klee's normal and charged attacks are especially effective against geo targets, making them ideal against enemies with geo shields, and for quickly mining ore. After unlocking the talent Sparkling Burst,
Look at them dancing.
Klee's charged attack lands a critical hit. Some energy will be restored for all party members.
Peace.
Use Klee's elemental skill to toss Jumpy Dumpty.
Jumpty
Jumpy
Dumpty?
Dumpty will bounce 3 times,
Oh.
each bounce causing an explosion that deals AoE pyro damage.
That's amazing.
On the 3rd bounce, Jumpy Dumpty will burst into mines. These explode upon contact with enemies or after a short time, dealing AoE pyro damage. Jumpy Dumpty will automatically recharge over time to up to 2 charges.
Wow.
It is effective in dealing with groups of enemies. After Jumpy Dumpty explodes, switch characters and pull enemies together to take advantage of the mines and deal a lot of damage to enemies.
Damn.
After unlocking the talent Pounding Surprise, when Jumpy Dumpty and normal attacks deal damage, Klee has a chance to obtain an explosive spark. When Klee has an explosive spark, instead of consuming stamina, her next charged attack will expend the spark instead and deal increased damage. Klee's Blazing Delight, Sparks and Splash,
Blazing
continuously attacks nearby enemies for the duration of the skill, dealing AoE pyro damage. Sparks and Splash has high damage and attack rate, empowering Klee to deal immense damage while on the battlefield. Klee is able to continuously dish out strong pyro attacks, earning her a role as the firepower of your party. Next, let's look at a battle to experience Klee's incredible destructive capability. In battle, Klee can use her elemental skill and normal attacks to repeatedly activate the effect of the talent Pounding Surprise, and use charged attacks to suppress enemies.
She's crazy.
When
But
her
she's
energy
adorable,
is
too.
full, unleash an elemental burst to further increase her
Whoa.
ability to deal damage.
What just happened?
After this, Klee can have fun causing explosions, spreading flames in every direction, and burning enemies to a crisp.
I think that's what he's talking about. Like she gets, that's like a
When
boost
the
that she
people
gets.
of Mondstadt talk about their home, they proudly call it the City of Wind, Dandelions, and Freedom. Perhaps it was Mondstadt's atmosphere of freedom that led the famous adventurer Alice to entrust her daughter Klee to the care of the Knights of Favonius. With this freedom, Klee has had a happy and unrestrained childhood, but all baby birds must leave the nest someday. Hopefully, our little Spark Knight will remain just as happy-go-lucky when that day comes, and keep smiling all the way.
Yeah, little Pyro. So do I even need to ask who your favorite is?
I mean, Klee is like childhood Harley Quinn. Like, she's just there, like, skipping and jumping as things are exploding behind her, and she's having a great time, and, like, this is her jam, and there you have it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. So for me, Klee's number one. Is number one for you as well?
Yeah.
All right, Diluc and Venti. Who between those two?
I mean, Diluc, because I want his house.
Yeah, I mean, same. He's got a winery. He's got a badass sword.
And he was a really impressive fighter. Like I said, Venti attacked that poor robot who was just minding his own business. At least Diluc attacked the robot after having been attacked. He waited to be engaged before he took the robot down.
All right, now ranking the characters in terms of strength, who do you think the strongest is?
Maybe Diluc, but I mean, Klee is really strong. It's just she's a kid and she seems so childlike innocent despite blowing things up that I have a hard time, I think, imagining her as the strongest, because I'm just like, oh, she's a kid. Like, you know, in 10 years from now, she'll be the strongest, but she's got a lot to learn. Whereas Diluc seemed just like that centered, trained, in control warrior.
I think, okay, so we're all agreed that, so Venti is our third favorite out of this one, which makes me our least favorite, but like we're going to do all of these, so we're going to continue ranking them. And then Klee's our favorite, and Diluc is number 2. And then for strength, same thing, Venti 3.
Yeah.
And that's between Diluc and Klee for you for strength.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Diluc for strength, just because since he already is a part of, like, since like fire is like within him, Klee kind of doesn't seem like it'll really like damage him. Whereas like he still has that big ass sword that he can knock the shit out of Klee if he wants to. So I'm gonna go with Diluc number 1.
Those are some good arguments. I mean, what does happen to Klee if she runs out of bombs?
Yeah.
I mean, she does seem to have like Hermione Granger's backpack in that it never seems to run out. But I mean, bombs don't grow on trees, so I feel like they'd have to at some point.
You don't know. This is Genshin Impact. They could grow on trees.
That's true. Yes, that is true. But I think you make some compelling arguments for Diluc, and so I'd probably have to agree with you because I was hedging that way anyway. But you made a good case for it.
Okay, so those are our rankings. We're gonna continue with these and check them out. Probably like every other week, we're gonna try to do a Genshin Impact Triple Trailer Tuesday for this. So getting more into it, and it says its own drink. So if you want all of our Genshin Impact reactions, check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you. And thanks so much for checking out our reaction for this Genshin Impact Triple Trailer Tuesday. But just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.